good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? Okay, it does seem like we're live. We're all here. Three chapters in a row, let's go. Are we excited? I am very, very excited. Hello! Happy Friday. Happy Friday to yourself. I'm on Saturday. This is Saturday morning for me. Look at so much sunlight. Okay, that was very bright. Oh, mic problems are back? Really? It's showing up as fine on my end. Give me a second. Can someone confirm for me whether there are mic issues? No mic problems. Testing. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. It seems fine on my end. I'm quiet. Well, it is 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I'm trying to be respectful to my roommate and not be too loud. So I apologize if I'm quiet. Okay, but other people are saying that the sound is at an okay level, so hopefully that stays, and that is as it is. The issue is sporadic. Sometimes it happens, sometimes not. I wonder if it's depending on how I move. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on it, and then hopefully it's not an issue throughout the stream. How's everyone's week been? I am so ready. I simultaneously cannot believe that we are already in December, that I only really have 2 full weeks of work ahead before the end of the year break. And at the same time, I cannot wait. I feel like I really definitely need the rest. You guys know what I mean? I'm sure you guys are feeling it too. Oh, this isn't going to be a quiet chapter. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, look, this entire flashback, from the beginning of the flashback, it has not been a quiet reaction. It's not been. This isn't a quiet flashback. And then after this chapter, it's a breakneck. Okay, well, I think that's to be expected, right? Surely. We've had 3 chapters in a row. Oda has been in his bag. I don't know if we can ask much more of him. Oda definitely needs the rest. It's been a big year. It's been a ginormous year. Oh, get the napkins? Oh no. Don't tell. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I don't think I'm ready for this. Should I get, what do we think? Should I get my tissues ready? Fred! Hey Fred, how are you doing? So glad to see you're here with us. Yeah, everyone listen to our mod Fred. And also Chin, hello, we missed you last week. Oh gosh, people are saying, be prepared. I don't think so. I'm never prepared. Oh god. Morning tears. I don't know what you mean. morning teas are not the best. I was crying last week. It's got a similar. It saps out all my energy for the rest of the day because then I'm just thinking about Loki and Ida. Oh, it's your exam break and you just got destroyed by Civ. Is that what's Civ Pro? Is that civics? Or is that civil procedures? I assume that's civil procedures. Did I end up going to the beach? So I actually did not go to the beach. I was supposed to go to the beach with my friends, and one of my friends has recently had a baby, well, at the beginning of the year, and it was going to be baby's first beach trip, so I was super, super looking forward to it. And then what happened? But then the weather looked like it was going to be quite unpredictable. They were predicting super high wind, rain at one point, and we thought, okay, you know what? We don't want baby to be stressing out in the sun with sand blowing all over him. And so yes, our beach plans did get postponed, but I went over to our friend's house and we had an indoor picnic instead, which was very nice. But today I'm gonna go to the pools. I think I don't know if I'll go to the beach. If I go to the beach, I try to go very early in the morning, and because we're streaming here now, I think by the time that I try to go to the beach, it is going up to 40 degrees today, 40 degrees Celsius, which is, what is that in Fahrenheit, like 90 something. So I am not going to risk not finding parking at the beach. So I am gonna go to the pools where I know that there is gonna be parking. 40 degrees, I've just searched it up, it's 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's I still haven't gone to get my aircon fixed either, so trying to go to the beach, I think, without aircon is going to be a bit rough. Anyways, oh, and you all had a snowstorm. Oh, fun. Yeah, wow. I think snow does look majestic, but I definitely don't want to have to deal with the cleanup and, shoveling ice off my driveway so that I can drive, and dealing with sleet and whatnot. That's not my idea of snow fun. Anime Nakama, hello, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Nice of you to join us as well. I remember civil procedures. I think that was in maybe one of the first law units I had to do. And it was not fun. We had to do civil and criminal law procedures together. That was definitely not fun. I assume you mean digging snow off your car at 5 a.m. so that you can go to work in heavy traffic is so much fun. Yeah, I can imagine. Luckily, I'm very lucky to still have hybrid, very flexible working, which means that I actually can work from home quite a lot. So I think any day that it snowed, I would be like calling it in, working from home. You are not seeing me. You are not seeing me this week. So has everyone read the chapter already? Do you guys have the chapter up? Should I share it? Yeah, let me share it with you. Why is my chat not working again? Oh, there we go. Okay. Lay wasted. Yes, I do remember. Okay, so this. Oh, hello. I just realized that Jake Whiteshirt has subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for joining us. I hope you have fun here. We've got our sole Twitch watcher. Usually we have a couple other people, but guess too early this morning, or maybe too late. Let me pin this one. Okay, that's good. That's pinned. Okay. Does everyone have the chapter up? Lay wasted. That really, I can now understand why you were upset at Tsunaki earlier today. So, for those who don't realize, Tsunaki posts fake spoilers before every stream. Please don't take them seriously. They're not being a-holes and spoiling the chapter for the fun of it. They are just having fun and posting fake spoilers. So I can understand why you were upset. No snow, but it rains around 2 p.m. when you have to go pick up the twins from the garden. So the rain's always cold. I can imagine. I mean, even when it rains, unless I absolutely have to go into the office because I've got an important meeting or whatever, if it rains, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the office today. I'm gonna work from home as well today. But that's also because since I've moved, we do have plenty of public transport, but I'm really not a fan of having to catch multiple modes of public transport to get to work, which means that I just prefer to walk to the nearest train station rather than catch a bus to the train station or catch a light rail to a different train station, which means that I have to walk about 30-ish minutes to the train station every morning on days that I need to go into the office. And so if it's raining, I'm like, yeah, that's a no from me. If it's a heavy rain, I'm thinking that's a no from me. And I am seeing, actually, that it's going to be raining in Sydney in this coming week. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been here around for a long time, I'm based in Sydney, Australia. Down under, mate. Oh. Okay. So then, are we ready? Shall we start reading, guys? Summer in December can be nice, but it can also be quite wet at times. I would also say that it cannot be. Sometimes it depends on who you are. Some people find the heat unbearable, right? 40 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not even actually beach weather, because I think it's actually too dangerous to be out in the sun at a time like that. You definitely don't want to be in the sun. You definitely you should be worried about skin cancer, and you've got to be worried about heat stroke. So I actually don't think 40-degree weather is appropriate beach weather. And I'm going to be going quite later in the afternoon when it has cooled down a bit, because the sun has not fried my brain. I still have my concerns and like to play it safe. So some ways, yes, good beach weather, but also maybe not. And Charles Ruler, thank you so much. Just subscribed today or earlier. Well, glad to have you on the fleet. Glad to have you on the JoyFleet. And yes, okay. glad that you're going to catch the stream. Hope you enjoy yourself, and I hope you've already read the chapter. So, what are we saying? Are we ready? Does everyone have the chapter up? Going running in 36 degrees weather is crazy, mate. Toronto is also similar, is it? So, way too cold in winter, and then hits 40 sometimes. Yeah, okay. That's Korea as well, actually. You guys, I think, experience all 4 seasons very distinctly. It was only sort of as I grew older that I found out that not all countries actually experience the 4 distinct seasons. Weather is quite mild but very wet. I don't think I like that. I'm actually really not a big fan of the rain. I think I'd prefer to deal with the heat than the rain, if I'm being honest. Okay. At the risk of asking for the gazillionth time, are we ready? It's tragic, and I don't know if the flashback ends or not. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the warning. I did not go and get my box of tissues, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully you guys are exaggerating, although if I know One Piece and if I know Oda, I'm sure this one will be another tearjerker. But that's enough of the tease. Let's start reading. Okay, reading chapter 1168 of One Piece, Elbaf Snow. Elbaf Snow. And we have snow in the cover as well. Oda's also getting festive. He's also getting ready for Christmas. Cover request by Mrs. Fuji. A family of sheep knit 6 gloves for Hachan. Oh, that's so cute. That's very sweet. Notes from Oda-san. I can't stop eating these canned cookies. I realize the macaron bottle are my weakness. Wow, it's been a while since I've had macarons, actually. Okay. Reading. Harold's efforts are paying off. But 15 years ago, that same year, all over the world. 1 year before his death, huh? Those giant marines are really doing a good job. They're so reliable. I always thought they looked scary, but now I wouldn't mind meeting one. Can't you get stocked up again? Elbaf seafood is super popular now, you know. I bet it is. This here is a top quality Elbaf cedar. It's a rare and tricky item to import. Oh, so Harold's dreams has come true. They've been accepted. They have integrated with the rest of the world. I'll take it already! Elbaf, New World. Harold! When we finally become... they still haven't become a member nation? Goddamn. This is the slow process. When we finally become a member nation, I think we should build sightseeing ships so our people can freely visit all of our allies. We're actually a rare minority from the perspective of the outside world. But there are many nations out there with a wide variety of races coexisting. This is thanks to a culture of mutual respect. Let's join the larger world, make new friends, and grow in knowledge together. Woo! Yeah, my God, that sounds great. We're one step away. Our future has never been brighter.
Yeah, let's ditch this warrior crap.
Oh, Ida's dead. Ida's dead. Oh gosh. I'll make it happen, Ida. The Walrus School. This is all thanks to you, Saul. Better sharp kids than sharp blades, huh? But ain't you afraid you've lost something here, Harold? I don't believe that military power is what makes a country strong anymore. It's 'cause of Ida. She taught me everything. Meeting her was the greatest blessing of my life. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. Hey, Harold. Elbaf really has changed a lot. When I first came here, there were tons of internal conflict. It was scary. But you changed everything. Now children can laugh and study instead. It's like a totally different country. The old customs, our backward traditions, all those bad practices from the warrior era will be thrown away. Oh, but I kind of like the whole warrior's pride part. It's really cool. You should cherish your culture. Don't you get it? Harold. Oh. It's that very culture that kept us from marrying. That was the reason why he pursued this. He pursued it all just because he wanted to marry her. Oh. You big stupid softie. You big stupid softie. It's that very culture that kept us from marrying. I can't accept it. Oh, but you don't understand what Ida's saying. You've misinterpreted Ida's wishes. You always did say you wanted to make me your legal wife. That really is the sweetest thing. You're so cute. What about Loki? He'll always be Harridan's kid brother, won't he? In my heart, I've always thought of him like that. Feelings like that keep my heart full. It's what's kept me going all this time. But don't worry, it's okay. You're everybody's king, Harold. And you're almost there, right? Oh. That's right, Ida. It won't be long. Soon we'll be connected with the whole world. Our world will be tens of thousands of times bigger. Then we can go traveling together, just like the old days. That sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Oh my god, this is like the Bonnie and Kuma plans to go traveling together all over again. I'm looking forward to it. Me too. Oh. Oh. god. Oh, look at them all. And Loki didn't even get to visit her bedside when she died. Oh. So sad. Oh. That seems like... It seems like that's Ripley with a baby Colin. I wonder what this means that Loki was in prison. Does that mean that they didn't believe him about what happened with his maternal family? Oh, I can't believe it. Okay. Soldier through, guys. Soldiering through. Oh, man. Okay. "14 years ago, the Holy Land of Marijois." "Shanks is missing?" "Indeed. Had he completed his last mission, he would have been formally knighted. As you were our next choice, that opportunity now falls to you. What will you do?" "I'll naturally accept the honor of being one of the God's Knights. Doing that will secure Elbaf's membership status." "Congratulations, then. The Great One has agreed to trust in you. It's been a long process. You'll be remembered as a king who brought great change to Elbaf. Well, to be honest, when Elbaf finally joins the world government, I plan to relinquish the throne. A younger, more virtuous ruler than I should take over." That's why they killed him, because they didn't want a new king. Oh. What? The Succession Wars. The Succession Wars. That is a matter for Mu to decide. So this means, like, so everyone in the God's Knights and everyone who has God's Knights potential knows about Mu and has met Imu. Wow. That is a matter for Mu to decide. Oh no, this is the first time. This is the first time they're meeting. But who did Harold think that the Gorosei had been talking about when they were talking about the Great One and stuff? Did he think that this was all metaphorical? Why is there someone on the empty throne? Come,
Moo has been watching thee, Harold.
Ah! Oh my god, he's got the mark. He's got the Elbathian mark of Abyss. Look at that. Look at those horns. Look at the horns. This power. Shh. It's surging within me. It's chilling. This is immortality. Freaking-tality. What? This is the power of immortality. It still sends shivers down the spine. He is now beyond any wild monster. He has been forged into a mighty weapon. Consider thyself an immortal knight, sworn to Mu. Immortal? I can't believe it. Carve an abyss pentagram in Elbaf that will mark the bond between us. Thy dearest wish shall finally be granted. Oh, this is the same. I feel like has Oda not finished cleaning up the panels this chapter. I actually quite like this stylistic design. I feel like it actually even looks like a stylistic design. Huzzah! As soon as this last mission is completed, Elbaf will be recognized as a member nation of the world government. Thank you, King Harold! Woo, yeah! West Castle. Huh? Could you repeat that, Great Imu? Mobilize the entire nation and form a grand army of warriors. The giant warrior fleet will stand alongside the Marines and serve the world as... Oh, wait! No! Hold on! Everything I've done was to free Elbaf from violence. Of course, if anyone still wishes to fight, I'll gladly encourage them to enlist in the Marines, but... Who is King Harold? Who is the king talking to in there? Oh my god, look at that panel. That is freaking scary. That is terrifying. Wow. Thou vowed to atone for Elbaf's history, even at the cost of becoming a slave. I meant to carry that burden alone. The burden of such history is too great for thee to bear alone. Now, hold thy tongue. Thou cannot disobey Mu. Oh my god. Those who enter into a deep-sea covenant may gain immortality and power, but it comes at the cost of total obedience. What? Thou wilt carry out Mu's orders regardless of thine own will. This isn't good. I'm losing control of Elbaf. They never meant for it to become part of the fold. Curse that man. Look at him trying to oh my goodness, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for all this to be animated. Wow. Guards! The plan was always to enslave the warriors of Elbaf. What is it, your majesty? Is someone... Chain me to this pillar! Huh? Hurry! Summon Elder Yrul and my sons! But sire, I believe Harroden is still out at sea, and Loki, Lord Loki, that is still imprisoned after what happened. I can't resist this for long.
What exactly is this concerning, your majesty?
None of that matters now. Release him. Oh, jail, realm of the dead. You're free to go, Loki. Huh? Head to West Castle at once. The king requires your presence. Yrul's house. Something urgent. What's going on? Oh, the flashback is ending. Oh my god, my heart. Boom, 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 boom. And so, we return to where this tale began. The day of the castle massacre. When Elbaf's most beloved king, Harold the Benevolent, lost his life. History converges. Dun 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 dun! Wow. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. Oh man. Oh freaking man. Wow. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm not surprised at all that it is a break week. We had 3 chapters in a row. It's very rare that we're going to get 4 chapters. But let's read the translator's notes. The Romanized spelling Elbaf appeared in the artwork of this chapter. This appearance may lend credence to the notion that the prior graphic, Elbaf, PH, may have been an editorial choice. Since both variations have thus far appeared in the art, the authorial intent remains unclear. For now, pending further clarification, we are going to stick with the familiar spelling Elbaf with F, as it feels more intuitive and is the more recently given romanization. It also is the way to spell it so that it spells fable backwards. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. So much has happened. Oh gosh. Oh. Look at my... Oh man. That was... What a freaking chapter. What a series of chapters. What a run of chapters this has been. What an entire flashback this has been. I can't, like, that was so heartbreaking watching the sequence where Ida dies. Like, absolutely no dialogue needed. I didn't know whether my heart would be able to go on after reading that. Chin, 34 months of membership. Congratulations. Lost his friend, lost his wife, lost Ida, losing his will. I know Harold has been through a lot. And Loki has been through so much. Oh gosh. I just can't believe that Harold met Moo, like someone with his level of knowledge. Harold had to have known about the Harley text, you know? Harley should know better. Harold should know better. He is the king of Elbaf, a land with like generations and, you know, years, centuries, millennia of history. And he should have known as soon as he found out, like, hang on a second, there is someone on the empty throne. This is not right. This is not how our world should be carried. Like, he just got blinded. I think Harold is such a exemplary case of the tragic hero. You know, the tragic Shakespearean hero, someone with the greatest fatal flaw. Oh God. Gosh. And I know Ida's dying with, I know, with the smile on her mouth as well. She got to die with her, surrounded by her loved ones. And it's so freaking upsetting that Loki wasn't there. Surely surely people know that. Do you think he was just blamed for running amok at that town? Or do you think they understood, okay, yes, that town would have similarly been punished, but we can't just allow vigilantes here burning down any town they please just because you get angry, and so Loki has been punished. Hopefully they at least know that, and Ida knows that Loki loved her. Oh. Oh. D, that is the funniest thing I've read. Can you imagine if Imu's English dub sounds more like Elmo?
More like you can slay some giant.
Oh. Exactly. It's just such a case of the tragic hero, the tragic flaw. He didn't read the fine prints of the contract. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. How many people actually read the terms and conditions? Oh, God. Brandon Yuki, thank you so much for the super chat. The path to hell is paved with good intentions indeed. We might see next chapter how immortals die, because Harold is crazy strong. Yeah. That's going to be... I mean... Yeah, because the only thing that the only time we've seen this was with Saint Saturn. And with Saint Saturn, it required Imu to kill Harold himself. I wonder if it's a case where Harold ends up actually... or Imu kills Saint Saturn themselves. What I was trying to say is, maybe in this case, Harold kills himself. Especially if it doesn't seem like Yrul and Loki are going to make it in time, because we know that they don't. Maybe King Harold kills himself. What chapter did this start? Was it like 1130 something? No, 1140 something maybe. 11... When did we see that... When did we see the flashback from Yrul and from Loki's perspective? I think that was like early 1140 something, right? Hmm. $11:52 was the start, but when is it that we see, you know, that panel when we see Harold surrounded by the guards? Because it looked like they had all speared him. Yeah, that was towards the beginning. Right at the beginning. It says, don't make me relive that day. Oh, that is 11:52. My bad. Thank you. Let me get back to 11:52 in that case. Wow, it started a lot later then. So this has actually only been like 15 chapters. 15 chapter flashback. I assume in this case what's happened was King Harold told them. Yeah, like I think then it's very, very clear what's happened. King Harold started losing control. It seemed like Emil was going to possess him. And so he's just ordered, okay, my sons, the Lord Jarul isn't going to make it in time. Kill me now. I order you as king. Do it. And then can you imagine if that's what made Loki berserk? Because he sees the soldiers doing it and go, the freak. I just lost my mom. And you guys are now killing my father too. Like, I know you guys just let me out of jail, but I'm going back in there because I'm killing all of you. Obviously, the question is, why has Jarul... Why is he part of the lie too? Because he lost his memory. He does get exactly. He got stabbed as well. So maybe it really is true that he's lost his memory and has blamed Loki for it. You know what's interesting is when you go back to chapter 11:52, when Loki shows up, all he asks is like, he summoned you too, Loki, not like, oh, you're out of jail? Like, why are you out of jail? All Jarul says is, he summoned you too. Loki's like very jovial and just like super. I just love how lighthearted he's treating this whole situation. Walking up to the throne room, like, I just got summoned from jail. Still think that Loki did kill Harold, but then because I can see that too. So maybe what's happened was he came up, he was like, the freak is happening, and then they explained at the last minute, no, we've got to king, like, and maybe Harold, maybe, oh my goodness, if I have to witness that last conversation between Loki and his father, and his father's like, you have to be the one to do it, and like, oh my god, this is gonna break me. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, that's also quite funny, hey. Well, how did Loki come from the sky if he was coming from the land down under? He just wanted to have a cool entrance, I think. Yeah, they did, exactly. They said that it was in the underworld realm. Wow. So how many chapters do you guys think we have left before the year ends? We've got a break next week. Oh, so we probably only have 2 chapters left, if we're lucky. We might only have 2 more chapters left, maybe even less. What's actually the schedule? He was just in jail, not chained in the underworld. Isn't jail in the underworld? Because they say it's in the lower realm. Next one is the last one because Harold isn't. I think, look, he's just a tragic hero. He was just foolish. He was foolish. And let's be honest, guys, he didn't get the same education that the new generation of Elbathians are getting. His generation didn't care as much about education. All he did was he learned how to fight, and then all the politics, all the diplomacy, everything he learned as an adult. It's hard to learn. With how unfinished this panel is, yeah, I mean, that was actually quite interesting to notice that the panels weren't completely finished this chapter. I feel like the last time I remember this happening was actually the chapter that Ginny died. Do you remember back in the Egghead flashback? And so it's very, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but for me, it feels like Oda just has trouble. You know, he's also just emotional as he's writing these difficult chapters. You know, as he's drawing and creating panels he knows is going to make us cry. I think Oda is also crying as he's writing it, and his eyes are blurry. And so that's why the panels end up looking like as they do. Because I think that was the last time that we saw these unfinished panels. Maybe I'm wrong. Might have happened more recently as well. Yeah, right? It was the last time that happened was during Kuma's flashback. You know, though, I actually do like... I quite like this art style, though. I don't mind it being unfinished. I know that it's not as crisp, but especially when it comes to, like, those emotional scenes, it just makes it more impactful. Yeah, exactly, because it is extremely rare. Oh, gosh. Well, I hope Oda is getting the rest that he needs as well, getting the rest that he deserves. I think... What do you think? You reckon the flashback ends by the end of the year? I think that if a flashback could end by the end of the year. With the way that Oda likes to schedule his chapters as well when it comes to like year end and stuff, I feel like he is going to close it out and then bring us back to present day Elbath with the first chapter next year. That's exactly what I mean. I think those Ida panels really got to him as well. And he was, he was also feeling it. He was in his feels. And for good reason. Oh my goodness. Like, the idea that... The idea that Loki actually didn't get to be by Ida's side, that really, really upsets me. Ida smiling with a smile on her face. One of the last things they talked about was Loki. And I didn't actually notice it before, but look, like father, like son, if you actually look back at it again, Oda has pretty much drawn both Harold and Loki in that same position, same expression, head down, eyes covering, like, just that, oh. the final chapter is going to be Lola rejecting Loki. Do you think we're going to go that far into the flashback? Like that far forward in the flashback? I mean, I guess we do have to find out why Shanks captured Loki. The grave 100% confirms that there's going to be no theories that Ida has been alive yet. So the Ida Ismosa theory, I think, is effectively dead. Wah, wah, wah. My goodness. My. Oh, man. Loki thought that Lola was Mosa. Do you think they've been talking for that long? This is wild. So we find out that that mark is actually the mark of immortality. But that's interesting, right? Like, so it seems like Harold wasn't given the mark before he was turned into a god, or before he at least signed up to be part of the abyss mark, like to be part of the abyss layer, the abyssal level of a god's knight. But Shanks received one. So what does that mean? It seems like even at this point, are you not a part of the God's Knight until you reach that level? Like, it doesn't seem that way, right? It just seems like had he completed his last mission, he would have been formally knighted. Loki sees Ida and Lola. Yeah, I think that could be the case. I can definitely see Loki seeing Ida and Lola and wanting to. Oh, it's gonna be so heartbreaking. Oh gosh. Oh man. Shanks knew this, and that's why he tried to be avoided to be because he just needed there. He needed to get in, find out the intel, and then get out before he would fall under Imu's complete control. Maybe Shamrock told Shanks about Imu. Well, I think Shanks had just been like scurrying around. He was like, he's been acting as the rat. Shanks lost his arm, but Shanks didn't lose his arm, the mark on his arm at this point. This happens, a year later than what we're currently witnessing, because we witnessed that happening after Harold dies. A year after Harold dies, really. Oh god, my brain hurts. It's all over the piece. I feel like every time I read a One Piece chapter, I'm just so overwhelmed. I don't know what to think. But some of these panels, just rereading it, these panels are just so So well drawn. The one with like Imu over standing or towering over Harold the Giant. Amazing. Amazing. Now we know why the throne is so way up. Imu wants to assert their dominance. Did Big Mom go back to Elbaf or did Loki sail out to sea? Yeah, this is a interesting question about when this all happened. I mean, I assume it must have happened during Loki's travels between 14 and 6 years ago. I feel like that's how it's gonna have to go. I can't imagine unless Big Mom decided to like try her chances and come back to Elbaf after hearing that the king has died. I think there's gonna be. I don't think we're gonna get. Yeah, I agree, Chin. Like, I feel like we are gonna get at least one more chapter in the flashback. That covers exactly what happened with Harold's death, and then we might quickly even see what happened between Loki and Shanks. That could happen within the same within the same chapter, I think. Wow. Hmm. Oh man. Well, what is everyone's plans for the break week ahead? I think the break week is Oda's way of having a minute of silence for Ida. Except rather than just a minute of silence, it is a full week of silence. And rightly so. Ida definitely deserves that. I'm so upset that we didn't get to see her more. She was so cute. She was You hear typing. Wait, it's working? Oh, just as I was saying bye-bye. Okay, we're back. That was weird. That was so strange. That was so strange. You know what we needed? We needed Growth Stonks super chat. So Growth Stonks, you have magical powers. You've brought our voice back. How bizarre. Thank you so much for super chat. Growth Stonks super chat was so super that it nullified Imu's powers. I think I hit some sort of hotkey, but I was typing even before then. Anyways, that's alright. We're back. Growth Stonks, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, JoyGirl. Hope you have been well. Quick theory. I think the father of Oars could be the leader of Galila. I think Oars' father was Noah and named the ship they built sort of like the saber of Zebek. I do like that idea. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, so here is definitely an idea that we need to discuss over the break, because Lay Wasted wants to watch theory videos over the break, so we will think about this. We'll think about this further. Yeah, the donation of liberation. Oars was one of the giants that got Domi reverse seed. Yeah, potentially. Do you think Domi Reversi would work even after, like, freezing, though, or once he wakes up? I'm a bit too scared to move the mic now, but I need to so that it's optimal placing. Does that work? Hopefully I didn't just mess up the mic yet again. Okay, still working. I'm glad. Yeah, the Galila. See, that's something that we have to figure out a bit as well. There is actually so much within this Elba flashback that needs to be unpacked. And the astral realm. It's crazy that we still haven't gotten the astral realm yet. The Galila is definitely going to be a huge part of the story. Something that continues into the present, right? That's something that it seems like I think Loki and Luffy are going to have to awaken, or a combination of Loki and Harden maybe, and it proves that it sort of gets back their brotherly bond exactly how Ida and Harold would have wanted it. We haven't seen... Yeah, and it's crazy that I would have thought that we would have seen more of the Elbathian elders resisting Harold's plans for transformation, for transforming Elbath. Because it seemed like, there was this internal conflict. And the only thing we witness, they don't have a problem with him accepting Harold's plans for a changed, reformed Elbath that focuses on peace, and yet they really care about him legally marrying Ida? I mean, that just seems like a very, very strange type of priority, you know? When did Shanks steal the Gomu Gomu no Mi? A year after this. Yeah, so a year after this, which is 13 years ago, because this is happening 14 years ago. I wonder what the surely the Elbathian elders do know about the Harley text. Surely they know. Do you think it's just something that got forgotten until they started up the school and found out about, like, and started researching more about their history? I feel like, see, like, this is what I mean. I feel like as a nation, for an Elbath nation that has so much cultural pride, I feel like pride in its history should be a main thing. So the idea that Harold was just so blinded by his end goal that he forgot about all of that, and it didn't cause alarm bells to him, that the Harley text literally says it in there, like, you know, man killed son and then they became the gods. Like, if there is one person, one figure who is lauding themselves as the ruler of the world, as the great one, surely that sets off alarm bells. Which is, look, I can't blame him, because I think he was just, like, I do think that is Oda's point, that he was just blinded by his mission. He was blinded by his goal, and he was just blinded by Ida. And then even Ida on her deathbed tells him, it's not, I don't want you to lose your entire culture. You know, I don't, like, a warrior's pride is still a worthy value. It's just do it with integrity, do it with dignity, do it with respect. Oh. This whole thing is just so tragic. That's a good point, Neon Roger. Why have we not seen Vegapunk here? Why haven't we seen Shaka? Harold's clash was the same equal haki with rocks, yet his haki can't detect Imu's evil motive. So Chin, I can tell, is clearly anti Harold. Look, I just think that was all part of it. Like, things that you should have been able to recognize. I think just he was blinded by it. He was just blind to it. Vaka Bros! Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. If you've just joined us, I do have to inform you that we have finished reading. I hope you've read the chapter already, because there may otherwise be spoilers. Otherwise, please go read the chapter, come back, and then you can catch up. Elbaf is like Viking culture. If the king's decision is absolute, then he could have freaking married Ida. All of this he did because he wanted to marry Ida. All of this was for Ida. This is what Rox meant. This is what Rox meant when he said that he's doing this for love. And I cannot believe that Rox knew his friend so well, that much, that was his response. Wow. Well, I don't think Ida ever intentioned to make Elbaf lose its entire tradition and its entire culture. I think she just wanted them to be a little more reasonable. You know, even when, I think she was even thinking that when, in his interactions with Rox. Exactly, she just didn't want them to be so brutal and so superior. I don't think she had a problem with their warrior's pride. She had a problem with their warrior brutality. And I think Harold just misinterpreted that. I think, you know what I think the problem is the two didn't converse enough. As is the problem in all of media, as is the problem in any, not even just media, in any relationship, all relationships. It's like what Attack on Titan was saying. Can't we just talk about this? I feel like so many of the world's problems in day-to-day life, can't we just talk about this? Ida should have told him. Harold should have listened to what she was saying. Ida should have called. Ida should have let them call Harold much earlier. You can't talk to the giants. Well, I don't want to spoil things for people who haven't watched Attack on Titan, but actually I think you can. Do I think Ida would agree to Rox? Which part? I don't think Ida is the type of person that would have liked to abandon your friend in their time of need. I know we saw Ida joke around about, having to choose your friends wisely, but I think she had a very soft spot for Rox. She was the type of person who opened up her taverns to everyone, including someone like Rox. And she recognized that Rox and Harold were best friends, were very close friends. So yeah, I think she would have encouraged Harold, yeah, do go help your friend. Because I don't think she wanted Elbaf to become a slave to the world government. And if Harold, I don't know the extent of their conversations together, but she probably did not realize what the extent of becoming a world government affiliated nation meant. Ida wouldn't have approved of that. Yeah, Ida definitely would not have approved of her man deciding to become the slave of Elbaf. Ida was literally a curse on Elbaf. No, that's too harsh. Ida was an angel. Ida was an angel that they just miscommunicated. Estrid was the curse. Estrid and Estrid's family. What a piece of work. What a piece of work. I mean, I think it's just a tragic case. I think it's like classic case that we see time and time again throughout the story. It's like Odin. It's Odin's, tragic flaw of thinking that he would be saving Wano by agreeing to Orochi and Kaido's terms, Classic flaw. Otherwise a hero, but just makes dumb decisions. Thinks they're doing things good in the long run, but I have no words. No words. I was really Come to think of it, how would Dori and Brogy reaction on Harold's decision? That depends on whether they heard of Harold's decision. They were at Little Garden by this point. They've been there for 100 years. I don't know how much outside world intel they got. Harold should have brought Ida from the go. Yeah, exactly. You know, they should have talked about it more. He should have gotten some external opinion. I know that he was the king, but he should have consulted his damn sons. He knows that, you know. Oh. I do agree with, I think, who was it that said it? Was it Neon Roger? Was it Lay Wasted? I do agree that it would have been interesting to see more of the Elbathian elders throughout the flashback, to see their role in all of this and how they felt about this whole Elbath tradition changing. I just find it so bizarre that they don't mind their culture changing, but they mind the marriage. Dorian Brooke. No, he's not a wimp. That's not what this is. Harold didn't listen to Rox and didn't believe Rox. I think he did believe Rox. I don't think it was a question about not believing. I think he was just that. He was just that. He just had such tunnel vision for his goal. Do I know Jujutsu Kaisen? I have watched Jujutsu Kaisen, not finished the entire thing. I think I stopped reading around the killing games. When we were reading last chapter, how many years ago was that? It was 15 years ago. So really, Shanks amassed a crew within like 1 year, 2 years, 2 years at most. That's crazy. Unless he had a secret crew in the background waiting for him, and they just were sailing on their own, awaiting their captain to come back from his rat mission. But again, I suppose that's a similar situation with Luffy, right? Like Luffy amassed his crew within under a year, within the span of a few months. So I guess that is quite standard. He had already recruited them and just told them, assemble. I wonder what this final mission would have been. Like, it seems like they're actually doing quite a bit of missions. I wonder what the Holy Knights have been involved in. You guys know what I mean? Like, I would have thought that the Holy Knights weren't involved in all that much, because it seemed like initially at their introduction, it seemed like they were the ones that presided over internal matters, right? That's why they were the ones that judged Mjolsgard. Whereas now, it seems like they actually get sent on missions quite frequently, which means that it really is like another secret service where they're doing things on the sly. So then there's the Cypher Pole and the Holy Knights doing some secret missions. This is interesting. Abim, thank you so much and welcome to your first stream. This is my first time watching you live, so just one question. We know that Blackbeard has Garp. Do you think there he learns of Rox because he was sent away by Kuma before big fight? As in, that's where he dies of Rox's death? Like, this is where he finds out what really happened? I mean, I think it's quite... I would assume that Teach would have learned at a young age that Rox died. You know, after the God Valley incident, he would have learned, okay, my dad died. Is that the question? The current flashback is also when Corazon died. Yeah, wow. And would Shanks have known Ginny? That's a really good question. Love it. It's actually wild to think about how many things are happening in parallel around this time. About how Rox died. The idea that Imu possessed him. Potentially, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe Garp tells him. But that, I guess the next question is, does Garp know that Teach is Rox's son? But also, Teach saw for himself that Rox was possessed. I feel like Teach would have known that that wasn't his dad. Like, because when they were running away and they were witnessing their Teach's grandparents, like Rox's parents, chasing them as well. I cannot remember her name. What's Rox's wife's name? All my brain would say right now is Estrid and Ida, and it's not Estrid and Ida. Eris, that's right. Eris like was screaming like, oh no, not you too. And so I think from that conversation, I think they had all put together what was happening. So I feel like Teach would have known, seeing the dad, that he also got possessed. Not necessarily that he got possessed by Imu, if he's not aware of who Imu is specifically. But I think but maybe he does know, because at the end of the day, Rox knew about Imu, and so maybe his son does too. D, what if Shanks' final mission was looking for the Ope Ope no Mi? Also, I still don't get it. Why Shanks and Law teamed up in helping Luffy in Marineford. You know what? Like, the idea of him looking for the Ope Ope no Mi on behalf of the world government as his like last mission, I think is an interesting point, because, but this goes back to what I was talking about. What is the function of the God's Knights and the types of missions they go on versus the Cypher Pole agents? Or is it, when they talk about missions, is it more just about escorting? Is it more about escorting the Celestial Dragons on their trips, similar to, you know, what they're doing at God Valley? Hmm. "14 years ago was also when Robin was asked to join some organization and betrayed them." Mm. You reckon that organization she was asked to join was the Holy Knights? Surely the God's Knights wouldn't have taken no for an answer. We've seen what they've done to, what they did to Loki for saying no. CP0 and Zero and Holy Knights do similar things. Yeah, I mean, it's seeming that way, isn't it? "After the events of God Valley, I've become convinced that Teach is Luffy's final enemy, not Imusama. However, this doesn't mean Luffy won't fight Teach before reaching Laugh Tale." So, I mean, I am of a similar opinion, that I do feel like Teach and Luffy are going to have to team up and fight Imu together before fighting each other in a very Naruto-esque storyline, which I have to stop saying because I do think Oda would have planned this, long before, and I guess it's just a common trope in general. But I have then also made a video. I have also made a video recently about whether Blackbeard actually does represent Rox's dream or Rox's will or even the DVD will. Because Teach doesn't seem to be the man that Roger was waiting for. He's not the honorable kind of guy that Rox was. And I guess we don't know enough about Davy D. Jones yet. But I don't know. I think it does seem like Oda has, from the very beginning of this Elbaf flashback, from Elbaf really, earlier on in Elbaf, that Loki was the one who might have inherited Rox's dream. So I think that's an interesting alternative that we're going to have to look towards. And 14/15 years ago is when Ginny was kid. Can you believe it? Can you imagine if... Okay, here's a question for you. If Shanks was involved in the kidnapping of Ginny whilst he was undercover as a rat, would you forgive him? No? Yes, okay. I'm sure it wasn't Shanks either. I mean, we've seen that he's freed Fisher Tiger, so I think he would have found the way even whilst undercover, but it is an interesting question. Parvision has a Shanks is a smuggler theory. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that one. I have not heard of that. Shanks could have helped Ginny get away, and that's actually an interesting point too, actually. But when did Ginny disappear? Ginny got away like 2 years afterwards, right? When was Ginny When did Ginny manage to escape? I thought it was like... How long was she kidnapped for? It was about a year? No, she got released from slavery, I remember. They decided that they didn't need her anymore after she got infected. Unless that was the official line that she got released, when in reality Shanks freed her. Shanks was asked to kidnap people, including Ginny, but he didn't like it, and that's why he was absent. That's why he ran away. Yeah, could be. How doesn't it also feel a little I don't know what the right word is, unexpected that they don't know where their God's Knights members are? Or they're not, okay, he wasn't a God's Knight yet, and he was a God's Steel member. But how would one just go missing? Surely if you have that mark, surely that's enough of a bond that the world government, that Imu would know where you are at all times. Shanks refused to kidnap, so then Shamrock did the mission, and then Shanks came back and then said that could also work. People are saying Shanks was acting by going overboard and saying things like "I'm Figurland blood" and "wasted years." Imagine if he actually meant it. He's not a rat, but he's actually a rat. Haki was too strong for the base mark, so that Shanks was able to overcome the mark of the shallow sea. Do you think? Sure, I don't know, man. I guess we need to think about this further. Okay, I would love to stay in chat, but I do have some things I need to get done this weekend. Got some plans, and I do need to start getting ready. So we're going to have to cut the stream today, but we have a break week, so don't worry, there will be plenty of discussions coming your way. So if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure to watch my recent videos. I have videos coming out that are in the works, so keep your eyes tuned. And let's have a great final month of 2025. I think that we're going to get maybe one more chapter. I think the flashback is going to end this year. Maybe that's the last chapter of this year. Maybe the next chapter that comes out, 1169, will be the final one. And then 1170 might even be the first chapter of 2026 when we come back to the Elbaf present. But those are just some of my thoughts. That's just how I'm thinking so far. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in a future video. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time to read 1169. Thank you so much for your time today. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy your break week.